got Miami, the another team that's got 9.5 win total, right? Is that a little high? Maybe. And the reason why I say that is because my question is that coaching going to be able to win them 10 games, right? I mean, yes, Mark Cristobal, I would love for him to be running my team. Absolutely love that. The thing is in-game coaching, we know that they tend to struggle at times, right? In close games. And that's what you're going to be in. You have a tough schedule. You go to Florida in week one. That has to be a win. With the way Florida's going right now and the way you're going, I know it's going to take time for Cam Ward to get going, but you have to. I know it's a weird question for to ask in the spring, but to be honest, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be answered in the spring, but to me, that's my biggest question because you're going to play some close games at Louisville, right? Florida State, at Georgia Tech, right? And the ACC championship game, if you do so get there, you're going to have to win the margins. And how detail oriented are they? How are they going about that? I don't know how much you can actually pick up and gather from the tea leaves that is spring practice notes, but also like it's got to be there, right? It's got to be there. And I'm sure there's going to be some ways, some rumblings. You hear that philosophy wise. I like Shannon Dawson and Lance Giltry are still there. Hopefully that the attention to detail is pretty specific in the spring.
Yeah, on attention to detail, like Cam Ward will fix. Like I'm looking at their passing metrics. Their passing metrics aren't the worst thing I've ever seen. They really aren't from last season. The thing that was killer is interceptions. They were Tyler Van Dyke and Emory Williams and others really struggled taking care of the football. Man, over an interception thrown per game, 111th in the country. On top of that, when you're committing penalties at a rate of 50 or 60 yards per game, which is good for 106 in the country, that's just that's not good. But those are two things that I think that they can improve a lot. And look, as much as I don't think Mario Cristobal is a good in-game coach, it is possible for coaches to get better, right? It is possible for coaches to get better and learn. And I would imagine that there were some instances this year which he learned how to better manage the clock, how to better need a football. Didn't think he really had to improve on that, but that is something that he does need to improve on. So I'm interested to see, can this team clean up penalties and can Cam Ward take care of the football? Right? Those are my questions. That's not necessarily going to be answered in spring ball, though, right? Those are not going to be necessarily answered in spring ball. So those are questions that I guess I have leading into the 2024 season. But I'm pretty high on this team, man. I look at the schedule and I'm like, this is insanely manageable. This is insane. You talked about Florida State, and I had talked about him earlier with Florida State. It's like, oh, it's kind of a home game for Florida State. Well, the important thing is that they don't have to go to Tallahassee. Like that would be worse, right? It's just less bad, right? If Florida State's coming to Hard Rock, Louisville, I expect the big drop off from Louisville, but then like after that, like Syracuse could be pretty decent. Georgia Tech could be okay. Is Duke gonna be okay with Manny Diaz? I don't know. Like this is an insanely manageable. You get Virginia Tech at home. You don't have to go to Blacksburg. This is an insanely manageable schedule. I totally understand why it's at 9.5, and I guess I can check to see if it's juiced to the over. But my guess would be that it is juiced to the over. It is juiced to the over, and I like it a lot, man. I like it a lot. So we'll see. I agree with everything that you said though.